Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel Future Midwife. In the last video, I have explained you the placenta and its function. In that video, we have seen many functions of placenta. Placenta performs nourishment, gas exchange and waste disposal. So, in this video, I will explain you how these functions can be performed by placenta through fetal circulation. So today's video will be fetal circulation. Fetal circulation is extremely different from adult circulations. The structures and organs are same during intrauterine life, but some organs are inactive during fetal life, especially lungs and liver. Heart structure is same, but during intrauterine life we have an additional structure called foramen ovale. So these placenta will be performing all the functions during intrauterine life, especially nourishment, gas exchange and waste disposal. These can be performed with the help of placental vessels. So during intrauterine life, we have 2 umbilical arteries and 1 umbilical vein. Fetal circulation bypasses the lung via a shunt known as ductus arteriosus. Liver bypasses by means of ductus venosus. The blood travels from right atrium to the left atrium by means of foramen ovale. The normal fetal heart rate ranges between 110 to 160 beats per minute. In fetal life, lung is inactive. Also, the fetus lies in the amniotic fluid. Fetus is not having capacity to breathe through nose. After birth, the blood from the right side of the heart is pumped to the lungs for the purification. That means the deoxygenated blood from the right side of the heart is pumped to the lungs for the further purification. So here in the intrauterine life, the right side of the heart pumped the blood to the aorta for the same purpose. Placenta is the source of oxygen. So the placental veins carries oxygen and nourishment and which gives to fetus. So after gas exchange, the waste product and carbon dioxide again carried by umbilical arteries and finally it reaches to placenta. During fetal circulation, the pulmonary circulation pressure will be high. So because of that, the blood will be passed through the shunt and which reaches to the fetus and placenta. Whereas after birth, the pulmonary pressure will be drops, so automatically shunt will be closed, then the normal circulation get start. Before going to explain the steps in fetal circulation, it's better to explain the temporary adaptations during fetal life. These temporary adaptations are ductus venosus, foramen ovale and ductus arteriosus. So first we will see about ductus venosus. This shunt allows the oxygenated blood to bypass the liver. The ductus venosus closes soon after the birth due to increased systemic blood pressure and chemicals called prostaglandins. Next is foramen ovale. This opening in the heart which allows the blood to flow from the right atrium to the left. This ensures oxygenated blood is pumped to various parts of the developing body. If this does not close at birth, it is considered a type of congenital heart disease. The third one is ductus arteriosus. This vessels between the pulmonary artery and the aorta, which allows blood from the right ventricle to enter the aorta instead of going to the non-working lungs. If this does not close at birth, it also considered as a type of congenital heart disease. Now I will explain about the steps of fetal circulation. Fetal circulation uses the same blood vessels and heart chambers to fulfill its very different functions. This is achieved by shunting the blood through various openings and passages that close after birth. Oxygen-rich blood from the placenta returns to the fetus through the umbilical vein. This vein runs through the umbilical cord that connects the placenta to the fetus. Oxygenated blood flows through this vein and passes through a shunt called the ductus venosus. Blood from all over the body returns to the heart through both the superior and the inferior vena cava. The superior and inferior vena cava open into the right atrium of the heart. During fetal life, there is an opening between the right and left atria called the foramen ovale. Oxygen-rich blood passes through this second shunt into the left atrium and then into the left ventricle. The left ventricle pumps this blood into the aorta, through which it reaches the head and arms. The most oxygen-rich blood reaches the brain by this arrangement. Some of the blood in the right atrium goes into the right ventricle. It is then pumped into the pulmonary artery. The high pressure in the lungs forces much of this blood into the aorta through a third shunt called the ductus arteriosus. It is pumped to the lower half of the fetus body and into the umbilical arteries. The two umbilical arteries run through the umbilical cord and take blood to the placenta. Carbon dioxide and weights are transferred to the mother's circulation and the oxygen and nutrients are absorbed. At birth, the umbilical cord is clamped or tied and cut. The newborn baby no longer gets oxygen through it. The lungs expand as the baby starts breathing. The blood from the pulmonary artery no longer passes through the ductus arteriosus, which closes in hours to days. As the pressure in the left atrium increases, the foramen ovale will be closed. At the same time, the ductus venosus also close. Now, the change away from fetal circulation is complete. They are considered abnormal if they remain open after birth. This is about fetal circulation. I hope I have explained it in a simple form. So we will meet in the next class with an episode of another midwifery topic. Till that, take care. Bye bye.